And we're back. So we'll move on to the NFL. And guys, where do you want to start? Do you want to start on the field or off the field?
Off the field's more
Off
fun.
the
Let's
field.
go
Okay.
there.
Yeah, that's off the field real quick.
So
I
I
agree.
think I think Urban Meyer is like just happy he's not in the spotlight this week because Jon Gruden took it and is going to run with it.
Yes,
I'm
he
hoping
is.
that. Well,
Oh, I was just trying to figure out who kept Urban's hand warm this week.
I don't know, but I'm hoping that someone hacks into Urban's emails to see, because I'm sure he has some things in his email as well.
Dude,
What if he's just a player? Like he's not anything else but just a player. What if he just goes out there and messes with women and it isn't really up to anything else? Then
at this
you would just love him even more.
yeah, Dorian, at this point, I'm sure that every NFL team has contacted the Clinton Foundation to find out how to scrub emails.
Mm.
I'm sure.
See, they need to take the Republican approach where they don't care what's in the emails. They just lie about it right to your face. Like,
Yeah,
you're
there you
wrong.
go.
Like you're an idiot. Like you must have misread that.
Yeah.
But
No,
it says you did it. No, I didn't.
No, they just used Eddie's Jedi mind trick. Heard you
I
tell
mean,
some
John
jokes
Gruden
about me. No, you
started
didn't.
too.
Maybe I didn't.
John Gruden was like, "Oh no, what I said about D. Smith? No, I was saying that his lip. I called it's like rubber because he lies, and I call that people who lie. So
So
that's what I meant."
I will say this. So on Sunday when this first broke, I was all ready to come on here and say, look, it happened 10 years ago. The NFL can't do anything because he was an employee by the NFL. It sucks. It's like the James Gunn situation where, yeah, it was a dumbass mistake. It shouldn't have been done, but it happened 10 years ago. And then I find out it's like, no, it's been going on for multiple years. Oh, while he's been employed with the Raiders, it got worse. And no, fuck him. He's done.
You know what I think is funny is ESPN reporting on an employee's behavior but not mentioning themselves at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like he was employed with us during most of this, but we're just going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what he did wrong.
let's talk about him and him only.
Yes. The Bucks pulled him out of the Ring of Honor like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if he doesn't exist with the Bucks anymore, does that mean that Dungy gets credit for the Super Bowl?
I always gave Dungy credit for that Super Bowl.
I did
So
too.
did we, but that was only unofficially. So officially, he should get credit for it now.
Right.
No, they are
He's get a
gonna
ring
do
and
that for
everything.
sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was interesting when Gruden announced his resignation, obviously before the latest round.
Yeah,
You could tell that it was Mark Davis telling him what to say.
yeah,
You could tell that Mark Davis went in there and go, "This is what you're going to say. We want to fire you, but we don't want to go through the bullshit with it. Say this, announce your resignation, and walk away. And God help you if there's anything left."
What's
right.
the biggest wah-wah moment of all this? Was it putting it all in text messages or building a $4.3 million mansion next to your quarterback that you won't be coaching anymore?
Well, the bigger dumbass moment was putting it all in writing.
Yeah,
I mean,
It's
If
like-
you're gonna be an asshole, keep the electronic devices out of
yeah, I mean, seriously, I mean,
it. Keep it face to face. Keep it.
we grew up, as email was starting to become a thing, and I remember the first day I got a job where I had an actual email address. It was everything you do will be recorded and can be used against you up and disciplinary action is up to and including termination if you do something bad. So
Yeah.
don't do anything stupid because we will catch you.
Right.
And so
Mm.
yes, insulting the head of the NFLPA and with racist remarks, that's bad. Using language for anti-gay language, especially when you have a gay player on your team.
He called him.
Right.
He called Roger Goodell the F word. That's never gonna
No.
That's not gonna
Yeah.
work.
And so all of that was bad enough. All of that fireable offense, especially because the team gave up on him. When they
Right.
found out what he said about Goodell and the language he used, and the team had embraced Ryan Nesbitt, they was like, no, you're done here. You can't stay here. All that was bad. Then to find out that he's connected to the bullshit that Washington was doing with their cheerleaders.
Mm.
I mean, that's some horse shit.
Yes. Wow. Wow. And I'm
Yeah,
and I won't.
forcing the girls to pose topless, and then after that, allegedly, it was in the emails or whatever. It's part of the case. Excuse me. but then they had to go escort these guys to clubs later that night. Like
Yeah, I mean that's
they're
borderline
they're
prostitution.
they're professional cheerleaders. They aren't like
Right.
it's I don't know.
Yeah.
And even if they aren't, that's not how you treat anybody.
No. And now the NFLPA is coming out and saying, "Hey, we want to see all the emails from all the teams." And unlike Spygate and unlike all the other ones, I can see Goodell going, "Have at it."
Jerry
With
Jerry
what
Jones
Gruden
is
said about him, I can see him
fucked.
going, "Go."
Jerry Jones is fucked.
He's gonna blame it on his old age.
Oh God, he's
like fucking Rich.
he's basically Calvin Candy.
Oh,
Sorry,
between-
it's unfortunate that a movie about slaves has a lot of parallels today. That's
Yeah.
so if you hate my Django references, fucking change your ideals. How about trying that?
Jerry Jones is Calvin.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
not wrong.
look
He's not.
of all the people you know in your life, who would be the first person to own a real life plantation? Jerry fucking Jones.
Jerry Jones. Well, I treat him well. I feed him.
I feed them.
State of the
Make
art
sure-
shanty houses.
Make sure the women are always pregnant.
Yeah. Got
And
some
see-
good bucks too.
Get me,
Strong.
y'all are gonna get me in trouble.
I can
Get
see
me
people
shot
like
in this
Jerry
county.
Jones, like Bruce Arians going, "Oh shit, I gotta delete my email." Not
Yeah.
thinking this shit's backed up on servers.
Bruce Arians feels like he's a little loosey goosey with his mouth.
Yeah.
Some of the way he talks and some of the things he says, it's like he might be a little.
Yeah.
He might cause himself some problems with his mouth.
Well, see,
What
and
about
here's
Belichick? You think Belichick may get caught up in something?
Nope.
no.
Nope.
Oh,
Bill
but
Belichick does not poke holes in his own ship.
no. But here's the best part: Robert Kraft's emails might be up for examination.
Oh my God. Jeez. His search history probably looks like Dorian's.
I mean, if you're into BBW, that's a whole nother topic. Keep it moving.
Ah,
Keep it moving.
whatever keeps you warm in every situation you could ever imagine.
Giggity goo.
That was what happened at the Asian spa.
Yeah. No. I think Robert Kraft and Deshaun Watson have more in common than. Is that not a good joke? Or are we still doing allegedly stuff?
Hey,
we doing?
if it's in an email, that's not alleged anymore.
Yeah. I was just thinking now. What about John Elway? You think Elway's safe?
I don't think any of these guys are safe.
I mean,
I
if
would
there's
not
like
be
an
surprised about anything anymore.
if there's like an anti-quarterback, anti-hate group for quarterbacks, they'll probably be mad at John Elway. I can't
Yeah.
believe him saying anything positive over the last since Peyton left. That dumb son of a bitch.
Well, and here's the point. It's one thing to say stuff like that verbally, or just use abusive language verbally. We all do it, not so much racist or sexist language, but abusive language. I'm sure we do it, especially when we're pushed.
Yes.
We don't put it in writing.
Well,
Right.
and here's the thing. I try to make fun of shit people can change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your behavior, your clothing, your stupid ideas, stuff like that. Like that's the stuff I try to make fun of. I'm not trying to make fun of you for stuff you can't change. I have in the past when I was younger and more mature, for sure. Absolutely.
That's the key. That's the key.
Yeah.
A
Absolutely.
lot of
High
the stuff
school,
that
after high school, a lot of there's all bets are off, all gloves off. But it's wrong. What are you laughing about? Yeah, it was bad. It was not good.
Because I remember you.
I do not know how I got out of high school without getting punched more in the face. I have no idea.
Oh yeah.
I have
but
no
BJ, you're
idea.
right though. So a lot of the stuff that he said is what I would expect from 15, 16, 17-year-olds to say.
Yeah. People learning
Not
their way in life.
grown
Yeah, not
adults
grown adult
should know better.
professional. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Oh,
Right.
man.
I mean, I look
Idiots.
at Dante DiVincenzo, or however you pronounce his name from
Mhm.
Villanova that plays in the NBA now.
Yeah.
Obviously, when he won most outstanding player for the Final Four back a couple years ago, like that night, shit came out about stuff that he tweeted 4 or 5 years before that, and
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going, while that's wrong, The
He's a
kid's
kid.
also 15,
He's
16
stupid.
years old.
Yep, he's
Yeah.
stupid. Like,
You know, I'm not
that's
gonna
different.
hold him as to a higher account as a Jon Gruden.
It's not that you necessarily get a free pass, but you should be allowed to grow, and if you can change and
Right.
Yeah.
be accepted by everybody and whatever. But like, if you decide to continue those ideals and behaviors, then you kind of got what's coming to you.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
So-
and I will say yes. When I was growing up, I said stuff that would be offensive now. It was probably offensive then, just no one told me. But I grew up. I understand what I did and said was wrong and stupid, and I've matured, which is scary. But yes, I have.
I have a problem. Like, most of my sense of humor is based on shock value, and so some of the things that make me laugh harder than anything is when I say stuff and people just sit there with their mouth open. It's like, "Ha, gotcha. I'll take it." Yeah, and so that's what entertains me. So I really gotta watch myself, 'cause
Just don't put it in writing.
oh, it's just so it is so funny to say stuff to people, walk away, and just leave them thinking. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I mean it, maybe I don't. Who knows? Just think about it.
Yeah, which that had me thinking. I was like, okay, because I was speaking to someone else about the whole email thing, and then they were like, Dorian, like, how would you feel if somebody hacked into your emails? And they talked about what you said. I said, well, you want to be technical. I said, I never in my emails, I can't recall me saying anything bad about someone, but I do have a lot in my emails about other stuff, which I'm not going to talk about because I work in HR. So. But it just makes you reflect, like, what if somebody hacked into your emails? What could they say about you?
Oh yeah, I don't agree with like the invasion of privacy of it, but this wasn't a hack. This was a part of an investigation, correct?
Yeah, this was an investigation. I believe
Yeah,
into
he got-
drugs or something.
He got
Right.
he got tied up in the misdeeds of the Washington front office.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't like a trainer was busted for something.
I don't know. It has something to do with Bruce Allen, and Bruce Allen and Jon Gruden were together in Tampa for a little bit, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not an invasion of privacy. It wasn't that it was hacked. It was a discovery. Oh shit, this is bad.
Yeah, I think this is part of stuff that's been submitted as evidence in the investigation, and that got leaked. So it wasn't
And-
it wasn't a hack. It wasn't like a digital thing, I don't think.
Yes.
And technically, the NFLPA, yes, they can say, hey, NFL, well, you want to see this information for all other teams because all other teams report to the NFL that is NFL property.
It is a private organization.
Yep. Now, it doesn't matter if your email address is at Cincinnati Bengals, at Jacksonville Jaguars, or at Seattle Seahawks. You're still an employee of the NFL.
So Gruden didn't send this from his personal email. He sent it from a work
He sent it
email?
from a work. Yeah, the stuff that came out, it was from like an ESPN email. It was from an Oakland Raiders email. Yes. Again, how fucking dumb can you be?
Wow.
I mean, there's a reason why I don't tell people where I work that I have this podcast because I don't want them hearing a different side of me.
Absolutely.
That's the same. I don't put I don't put my employer on my Facebook so I can ride out on people. So I can just do whatever I want on Facebook because I don't want to get back to them.
I have no coworkers on mine either.
Even though my manager is a friend on Facebook, I can only imagine.
Oh God,
imagine his boots have probably been steaming a couple times.
Exactly. It's funny you mentioned that because I remember I was speaking to someone and I mentioned a podcast and one manager was like, "Do you have a podcast?" I said, "Yeah," but I said, "You won't be into it. What is it about sports?" I'm like, "It has it's sports with a alternative twist to it." Oh, okay. I'm like, I hope he wasn't going to ask.
No, nope.
I don't think you want to.
Nope.
Because you are pro right.
You'll be ZipRecruiter tomorrow. Get paper cuts from all those applications you'll be filing. Yeah, exactly.
I can imagine the manager asking me, "Hey, who's that BJ guy?"
You know that white guy on your show is pretty uppity. That's
So guys, there actually were football games on the field this past weekend.
Right.
It wasn't just Jon Gruden and Urban Meyer doing crazy stuff. No, it was Urban Meyer almost setting a record. They're now second for the longest losing streak ever in the history of the NFL. The other team had their coach wanting them to be executed.
Right.
Yes. How do y'all go 16? How do y'all go 0-16 and not be involved in that list, Adam?
Because I think we won like the game before, like the previous year, and then someone
That proves the NFL's rigged.
That just proves that God hates Detroit.
Well, I mean, if you're looking down on it, would you be real excited about it right now?
No, not really.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
Right.
But-
Sorry, I just had to laugh.
No,
Jaguars, I haven't been a while.
But don't worry. Urban Meyer has promised that they're going to have 250 yards passing and 250 yards rushing in this week coming up.
I
was
wouldn't.
like, shut
I wouldn't
up,
be.
dude.
I wouldn't be so hard. That was a PR move. He's just trying to get the focus off where his hand was. That's all he's trying to do. No, I'm serious. Like, he's an intelligent man. Well, I thought he was until he got caught.
No, he's not.
Jeez, turning that girl into a puppet.
Let me see
like-
those hands.
But that's an intelligent move. Say something really stupid, get everybody else talking about that. And I'm just gonna kind of keep on going my way over here.
But see,
Really?
this is the week to just be quiet, not say anything, and
Nope.
let the media
Nope.
focus on Oakland.
Nope,
Right.
brash,
Nope.
arrogant, don't give a shit. I'm going to
Exactly.
change the narrative right now because I'm Urban Meyer. I don't know, like if you haven't picked up on everything that he does, basically reeks of arrogance.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Dude, I've been drunk in a couple bars with girls, and I've never jammed my hand up their ass in the middle of the floor.
Yeah,
That seems pretty fucking arrogant to me.
That's bold.
It's real bold. This is my bar. I'll go back there and cook a steak with this hand if I want to.
so
Get
but
over here.
my question to you guys, I'm going to try to stay on the field as much as we can. Is Baltimore legit?
I tell you what, I'm about to apologize for the first 3 weeks of the season. I talked about Lamar Jackson. I'm sorry, Lamar Jackson.
Uh,
I apologize. You threw the football amazingly last night. You were a
I did,
blast to
yeah.
watch. His shiftiness is only rivaled by Mike Vick. Like the way he changes direction. The crazy thing is about it, he's like 2 inches taller and probably a few pounds heavier than Vick was.
and a better passer.
Yeah.
I don't know. Philadelphia, Mike Vick was a pain in the ass.
Well, see, that was the thing, though. When Philadelphia, Mike Vick was not a runner anymore.
Yeah.
But Mike Vick learned the craft of quarterback.
Yeah.
It might have
Yeah.
taken him getting in a lot of trouble and refocusing his life, but those last few years in Philadelphia, he was a pain in the ass to this league. Him and Deshaun Jackson were a good hookup because Vick's got the arm for that.
But yeah, watching Lamar in that comeback the other night was like that was
Awesome.
amazing. It was
Fun
awesome.
to watch.
Yeah.
That's good.
Did such a great job. And Marquise Brown for having that rough game 2 weeks ago, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To catch some balls last week and then to have the game winner this week and almost beat me in fantasy. I only won that game by 14 100ths of a point.
A win is a win.
I'll take
That's
it,
right.
especially at 2 and 3.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that game was excellent last night. And Colts look like crap.
Yeah.
How can you go up like that, not even be able to contain him? I know it's Lamar Jackson, but you don't have no plan.
No, and see, and what gets me is I know everyone during the Michigan-Nebraska game, they were giving Harbaugh shit for going for 2 when it was 19-7 and he wanted the 2-pointer to go up 21-7. That
Mhm.
makes sense because the math works out. Hey, if I make it, I am 2 full scores ahead.
Yeah.
When Frank Wright went for 2, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Adam is so fucking excited. He's talked about Michigan more this week than he has in 40 shows. He is so excited. Oh, good for you. It's nice to see you in love again, buddy.
Hey, you know what? They can't lose this week.
Why would you say so? Oh, they're on their bye week. I was about to say, I was like, what the hell are you talking about? That's how shit happens. Troy Aikman before the Cowboys game Saturday last week, he said the Giants aren't in the class of the Cowboys. I said, bitch, you don't even put pads on. Shut up. You can't even go out here and defend your words. Hush, please. Do not jinx this with more arrogance. Jerry
was it?
Jones takes up all the arrogance you can have on a championship team. You can't have any more. Players got to be calm. Ex-players got to be calm. Shut up.
Who was it that said Saquon Barkley is just the running back version of Carson Wentz?
I put that in the chat because I saw a lot of people were like, think about it. It's like he's always freaking hurt, man.
Yeah, that was our one-time guest host, Mike, who sent us that meme.
He's too scared to come back on the podcast.
I don't know. We're kind of stupid.
So is Mike. So I mean, we kind of
Yeah. I feel like it's more of a fair comparison to say he's like Greg Oden, man. It's starting to look bad.
Yeah.
He's constantly got something going on with him.
Yeah.
And he's
Mm.
constantly got something going on the lower half of his body.
Yeah.
Like the worst part for a receiver.
Yeah. What I mean, honestly, Barkley's injury was fluky.
Or
Daniel Jones better not suit up at all this week.
Ooh,
If he has a
Ooh.
helmet, they need to fire every one of that coaching staff.
tell you what, these rookie Cowboys linebackers are out here head hunting. Literally,
But
you see that?
yeah.
Yeah.
But watching Daniel Jones try it off the field, like he needs a couple weeks out.
If there's an alternate angle from the end zone that shows the guy that hit him try to run and grab him, but then his teammates got him.
Yeah.
Like he was stumbling and Jabril Cox took off to go get him, but then the teammates got to him first.
Well, because I mean, as much as these guys go at
Yeah.
each other, they still respect each other. And when you saw that, it's like, okay, we need to stop.
it's still a
Like
brotherhood.
this ain't good.
It's still
Yeah.
a brotherhood, and a lot of them are going to be dealing with the same things in 10 or 15 years,
Yeah.
20
Mm.
years. Excuse me.
And BJ, you had a good point. I mean, if that happens 20, 25 years ago, I mean, he's guaranteed to play next week. He might be
Shit.
back in the second half.
Troy Aikman and Steve Young would have been back in.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the scary thing.
Yep.
Is Troy Aikman, Steve Young, they're still articulate. They can still, move around. How many players can't?
Yeah.
How many offensive linemen don't know what day it is?
So if you go back and look at the sacks in the 80s and 90s, there were some vicious hits.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Vicious hits. Stuff now that get people suspended
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
easily. Like just, I mean, Aikman had, I believe, 8 concussions. And I think
That he
Steve
knows
Young
of.
was, that he knows that have been diagnosed. And I'm pretty sure Steve Young's around that 6, 7, 8 number also. That's a lot for the brain to take.
Yeah.
It's like,
And see, and it's not just the big concussions that are the problem. It's
yeah.
the little mini hits, especially like I said, offensive lineman and defensive lineman, because you're constantly moving back and forth.
Mhm.
And that's where it's really dangerous.
Do you know the guy that does interviews? I believe I might be mispronouncing his name. Graham Benzinger. Have you seen those interviews?
Mm-mm.
He interviews a wide variety of people, but he did an interview with Brett Favre, and he asked him about the final concussion, where he got, I don't know if you know this, that's how his career ended. He got a concussion in Minnesota. And he said it was just a normal hit. And he kind of blacked out, and the offensive coordinator had to grab him because he took off at the opposite sideline. So now over here, buddy. And then Brett said, I think I want to go in the back. And he said after 20 years, I felt like that's something I could do. And he went in the back and got looked at. But he had a good point. He was like, what is a concussion? How do I know when I've had it? And how many have I played through? Like, there's just so many unknowns right now. So, because he asked him how many concussions do you think he has, he goes, "Well, what is a concussion? Like, when do I? Is it when I see the bells? Do I see or hear the bells? See the stars? Like, what is it?" So, I mean, it's a good point. Like you said, Adam, those are what we know Troy Aikman had. He could have 12, 13 undiagnosed because we're talking about 89 to 2000. I think he played 2001, something like that.
Something like that.
I mean, those are still some rough years to be in the NFL. People get their heads knocked off still.
Definitely.
I don't know. Those concussions are scary, man. Daniel Jones looked like he got rung up pretty good.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just the helmet to helmet. He kind of went into the turf head first also.
Yeah.
Which was concerning.
Yeah, I think it was, I mean, and I'm gonna play immature doctor here. I think it was when his head hit the turf. That's kind of really what did it. And I mean, watching him get off the field, I was like, okay, we all need to just take a break and just stop.
I thought that also, but then I watched the slow-mo replay, and if you look when his arm hits the ground, it's limp.
Yeah.
Like it just sort of goes, it just pushes out. So the helmet got him. And what concerns me now is you have 400 pounds of player landing on a guy's helmet who's already knocked out, and he has no neck control now. No neck control, no control, just getting ragdolled into the ground. So
yeah, and
I hope I don't see him for a couple weeks.
Yeah,
2-3 weeks. Get the fog out of your head.
And there's something that nobody really talks about. It's second hit syndrome. Have you guys even heard about this? Mm-hmm. It's where you have a concussion and you haven't fully recovered, and then you have another one.
Yeah, it's worse than the original.
The brain damage caused from that is catastrophic.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just It's part of the game. Troy
Yeah.
Aikman had a point a few years ago. He said, "You want to start changing the way people tackle? Take the helmets back.
Go back to
They'll
leather
stop.
helmets.
They'll stop slamming their heads into things."
Yeah.
That's
But-
from
but
that's from a guy with 9 verifiable concussions.
But see,
But maybe a
here's
little
the-
bit of that talking.
here's the ironic part is the NCAA, for all of its faults, for all of the corruption that it has, the reason why the NCAA was actually created was because of the leather helmets and for safety. Because back in the day, like turn of the century 1900s, when college football was still coming up, kids were dying because there was no
Yeah.
protection
They're
and there was
talking
no
about ending it.
regulation.
They're
Yeah.
talking about getting rid of football.
And so they had to regulate it in some way, shape, or form, and that's how the NCAA was born.
So
And then it turned into a way to just profit off of kids.
How
Yeah.
pure American.
right.
Yes.
I'm gonna look up. I wonder how many concussions happen between rugby and the NFL. Because of rugby, they don't wear any type of padding except for shin guards and somewhere knee pads,
Well,
and they be knocking each other the hell out.
Some of
Well,
the fastest 250-pound men I've ever seen in my life in rugby. See big old dude look like an offensive lineman just tearing right down the middle of the field.
Just tearing right through
Yeah.
them.
Well, and see, here's the difference. With rugby, not only are they taught how to hit properly because you don't have a helmet for protection, but also you don't have as much of a head of steam of your
Oh.
collisions.
All of this is correct, but I've seen some rugby highlights where they get that head of steam.
Yeah.
They try to hit that 250-pounder, and it looks like he hits a dump truck. The guy doesn't
Right.
stop. He just kind of twitches a little bit and keeps moving.
Dude,
Well, and
Jeez.
there was a reason why youth soccer in this country, like they don't even allow headers until you're 14 or 15.
yeah, that's true. Because my son is playing soccer now, and my son likes to do the headers, and the coach is like, no,
No, you
like,
can't do
he-
that.
he can't even attempt to do that. So
When,
You know,
when
yeah.
I was in youth soccer, in New York, the coach brought his son out to teach us how to do headers. So he kicks him the ball and breaks his son's nose right in front of all of us. Blood all down the front of his face. I was like, yeah, that's how you teach a 6-year-old to do headers. Never doing that shit. Never.
I am all for football for younger kids until high school being flag football.
Yeah, absolutely.
Teach
Yeah.
them the fundamentals, teach them route running, teach them how to read a defense, how to play, but protect them as much as you can. Now in high school, if you want to go for tackling, absolutely. But until then, we've got to do something.
You need neck
Right.
muscles.
absolutely.
Kids, you sitting at the desk holding your head up all the time. I'm assuming you can't play football.
yeah,
That's what I'm assuming. If you can't hold your own head up with your own body, you probably should play football. Like I never really had a bunch of neck muscles, so I tried playing a little football, and I realized that I'm never going to get paid for this. I was like, I'm gonna stick with basketball.
It's a contact sport, not a collision sport.
Yes, I'm not going to get paid for basketball either, but it hurts a lot less.
right.
And I'll tell you what, one of the funniest things that kind of hit me in the soul was the Oklahoma drills made more basketball players than anything. They are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
Oh yeah, you did.
That's put up or shut up time right there.
Yeah.
And what I didn't understand is the cross matching. How are you going to say defensive lineman and cornerback? What? No. No.
It's not like something Leesburg would do. Oh, they
It
did.
was.
I know.
They could put some skinny dude up against Corey Chancellor. No.
Man, it
All
was
right.
some hitters, man. Corey
was fun to watch.
Chancellor. You remember Matt Nudak?
Yes.
Yeah, good Matt's a good dude. Matt's always been a
Dude.
good dude.
Those guys could hit. Dwayne Hinman. Like it was some hitters.
Robbie Joe.
Yep.
Robbie Joe Franklin. Zoe.
Yeah.
I hate giving
Oh.
that eagle-loving son of a gun any kind of shine on here, but he's a pretty good linebacker. And I play him this week, and he just overlooked me. He just said Dorian's the only competition I'm looking at. I was like, excuse me, you play me next week, and it's likely that Christian's coming back. You're about to get the Christian business that I've been waiting to give everybody.
Oh.
So, anyways, where do we stand on the Chiefs? I know we were kind of out of them.
Exactly where we stood at week 2. And we
Yeah.
won.
Yeah.
They are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
Where's my podium? Make the camera shake.
Exactly. One of the things that I saw Well, first off, I'm going to start on the defensive side. Like, where is Frank Clark? Like,
hoovering up $20 bills and just sitting on the sideline.
Can you tackle somebody?
Oh no, he's not doing that. He's bringing it back. He's just collecting all that money for like the occasional tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Man, it's like I forgot I was watching, but one of the coaches that were doing the analysts, they said if you're an NFL defense and if you have to blitz your safety, you're not a good defense.
No.
Not at all. And they blitz.
No, excuse me, the Steelers did it for fun with Palomalu.
Oh yeah,
they didn't have to do it.
Right, they didn't have to do it.
No, but so bullshit on that. And yeah. Darren Woodson was a pain in the ass. Steve Atwater was a pain. No, that's safety blitzing. The good defenses do it for fun.
Yeah.
Okay,
but he was saying like for Kansas City, it's like you got Chris Jones, you got Frank Clark, like you got like proven players that's underachieving this year. So he was like, how can you light the fire under that defense? Like, what can you do to get them motivated if they're already paid? Like, what else can you do?
And that's the thing, though.
Have Patrick Mahomes call him out on ESPN in front of God and everybody.
They don't care. They got their money.
I'll tell you what, that'd be real easy to move on from if that doesn't motivate him.
Well, see, and I know, BJ, you're going to give me shit for this. The Chiefs are screwed going forward.
They're going to be able to afford everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you got to watch out for that restructuring of contracts. They can save up a lot of salary cap like that.
Yeah.
I think Patrick will do it. I think he'll
you just give.
contract.
I don't know why you wouldn't. You get it in a signing bonus, like it's in your check at the beginning of the season. Anything could happen the rest of the season. You got your money, at least most of it.
Right.
Romo did it a couple times that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
Tyron Smith. It's a Cowboy. It's part of the way the Cowboys function.
Yeah. The problem is they need a lot of help on their defense, and they can only pay so many, even with restructuring.
The way they're set up salary cap wise, they're going to have to draft it, and I don't know if they'll be able to keep the players together long enough to draft the help.
Yep.
And it's going to put them in a weird, funky zone where it's either going to be Hill and Mahomes or Kelsey and Mahomes. Can't be all three.
And here's the question: Is Patrick Mahomes going to be the next Aaron Rodgers? He gets his one and then just kind of is really good, but never achieves it again.
Mm.
I mean, his offensive line situation has not been addressed. I can't chalk him up to that yet.
Yeah.
If they choose to go down this path and continue without addressing the offensive line and defense, then yeah, it's very possible. Because that's what happened to Aaron Rodgers. Either he's got a running game and no defense, or a defense and no running game. He rarely has both.
Right. I do believe that Kansas City will address their offensive line issues, but it's like you're addressing those issues, you're going to have to lose something. Like there's
it's a give and take.
Right, give and take. And so if you are Andy Reid or if you are Patrick Mahomes, and it's like, okay, we can either re-sign Kelsey or Tyreek Hill, which one do you choose?
I was just about to ask you that. Who do you keep? I know who I'm keeping.
I'm keeping Kelsey.
I'm keeping Kelsey.
Kelsey makes the most sense.
Kelsey's more valuable to me in the red zone.
Yeah.
Than Tyreek Hill is. I'm just saying there are other receivers that are game breakers and also produce in the red zone.
Yeah. Kelsey is a worse matchup nightmare than Tyreek Hill is.
He's too fast for linebackers, and he's quick enough and too big for safeties.
Because you can get someone that's comparable to Tyreek Hill. Not as good, but comparable for a lot less money. You're not going to get anybody comparable to Travis Kelce.
Kadarius Toney's going to be the next one we're talking about if you can stop being a damn knucklehead.
I was going to say.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
He's a Gator. What the hell do you expect?
This is true.
You got a pretty solid law school to get you out of trouble in this.
Yeah. And plus, also, too, like, if you think from a defensive standpoint, when it comes to Tyreek Hill, as long as you have a safety over the top, it's like you have a safety, you have a DB, you guys can kind of like shadow him. Kelsey, you can't do that because, first off, he's a nightmare 1-on-1, and then 2, if you play zone, he eats up the middle. Like he does a great job finding those crevices in the middle, like just right. So it's like pick your poison with Kelsey. So I agree. I definitely keep Kelsey.
You can scheme your way to protection over Hill. You cannot scheme your way out of Kelsey.
Right.
I have a hard time spending a lot of money on players built like Tyreek Hill. That's why Darren Sproles never got a huge contract. That's why Deshaun Jackson, I think, only got one contract, and the rest of it's kind of been, it's real hard to invest in those guys. They're kind of one-trick ponies. The crazy thing is, though, is like their one trick is pretty damn awesome.
The one trick is pretty damn awesome, but you can draft somebody that can do that trick 85, 90% as well for a lot less money.
Yeah, like I think it was someone that's comparable or at least close to Tyreek Hill. Like he said, like Tony, I think Kadarius Toney in the future is going to be that type of player. The other guy who the Cardinals picked up, is it Moore?
Oh, Rondell Moore. He's freaking amazing.
He's 4.2 something.
Well, he's amazing on the field, not so much on fantasy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care about fantasy. I care about production on the field. Can he help my team win?
Yes, that also applies to fantasy production, though. So I care.
Well, you worry about your fairy tale. I'm going to worry about the stuff on the field.
If he was 4-1, he wouldn't be talking like this. But that's definitely not the case.
Hey, I'm 3-2. So, but yeah, if you watch Rondell Moore in college, especially the game he had against Ohio State, I remember watching the game with my wife and having her face just drop when she watched him. She was like, "Can anybody tackle him?" No, they can't.
He's like, he reminds me of Tyreek Hill, like fast, shifty. He gets the ball in his hands, and the thing is, he has that same dynamic like Darren Sproles. Like, for instance, you have to find him to tackle him, but he goes behind the offensive line so well to where it's like it's hard to get to him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, BJ, we have to do this. We're getting late in our NFL segment. We have to go over our NFL picks.
Nobody gives a shit. We don't. They don't. Nobody gives a shit.
Now, like I said, one of us is 500.
You know who that is.
Has to be
Dorian.
Dorian, look at you. Look at you.
What?
Mr. Cody is 10-10.
Horseshit.
Oh, all right. I'm doing better than my Jaguars. Goddamn.
Well, I mean, they set the bar so goddamn low. It's not really.
Well, you know what? And speaking of those Jacksonville Jaguars, so the first game we're picking, Miami and Jacksonville. Miami's a 3.5-point favorite.
So, do you like terrible or do you like terrible?
Like, do you like shit on a shingle, or black eyed peas that have been overcooked by 3 hours?
Oh man, there's a lot of butts to grab in Miami. I'm willing to bet that Urban Meyer's gonna be pretty pumped up Sunday, so I'm gonna go butt grabbing Jaguars for the victory.
Oh, what? They're gonna break the streak?
They're gonna break the streak.
What?
I mean, not the streak on Urban's hand, but.
Hey, BJ, before we move on to Dorian, this game's in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's fair. Oh man, that Jacksonville booty's different than that Miami booty, though.
Trust me, I know.
Dorian, protect yourself. Stop.
I know I am. Trust me. Speaking of that, my wife actually asked me. She's like, you know what? I haven't listened to your podcast except for
No.
Trust me.
Nope.
I'm keeping it away from you.
No. You have to make a separate one for her to listen to.
I do, right? And we just talk boring about boring shit.
Dorian, why is this just you talking? This is my podcast.
And why you talk about our marriage the whole time?
I love you.
Yeah, I love you. I know, right?
Why do they joke about your search history?
It's a long story, baby. Something happened a long time ago. Don't even worry about it. Anyway, I bought you something. But
yeah, exactly.
Of course, I'm picking the Jaguars, man. I can't go against them.
The delusion continues.
But
I'm
hey,
going with-
they should be able to play sneak one out against Miami. They
yeah,
should.
they should. I don't think they will. I'm
said
taking
sneak-
Miami.
You said sneak one out like you're talking about farts or something.
Hey, you can't think those out in an elevator.
40 shows in, first fart joke. Yes.
Ooh.
Okay. The next game is the Chargers versus Baltimore.
That's boy.
Baltimore is a 3-point favorite.
Mm.
I don't know. I feel like
Mm.
whichever team I pick, I could be equally wrong.
Yeah.
You know what? After what I saw last night, going with the Chargers.
Going with the Chargers?
Yeah, I don't think if the Chargers can get ahead of the Ravens like that, it will not be the same scenario
No.
Yeah.
because
I
the
agree.
Chargers can score with them throughout the second half.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going with the Chargers too.
See, I went with Baltimore, and so again, this is a Chargers team that's really good. Herbert's really good. Baltimore's just rolling right now, and you're
Austin
right.
Eckler's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they get behind the Chargers like they were against the Colts, then there's no chance. I don't think they will. I think the Chargers make too many mistakes, self-inflicted wounds like they did against the Cowboys, and I think Baltimore pulls it out.
Well, we will see.
Yes.
But I think that new kid in LA is magic.
Oh, Herbert is
He's
freaking
magic.
amazing. Yes.
I bet the Dolphins are kicking themselves in the balls right now.
Okay. But they won a tour for 2 years.
The
so.
start of the Dolphins being the laughing stock, in my opinion, is when they didn't sign Drew Brees because of his shoulder.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
every quarterback since then has been worse than Drew Brees.
And they went with Dante Culpepper.
Yep.
Do you not know that he does not come with Chris Carter and Randy Moss? It's not
Apparently
a
not.
package deal.
It's not a package deal.
It's not a package deal. You can't order Chris Carter and Randy Moss. They don't just appear.
Yeah, Chris Carter, looking for a fall guy. So the next game is Arizona and Cleveland. Cleveland's a 2.5-point favorite.
Oh man, Baker looked terrible down the stretch. I'm going with the Cardinals. Cardinals put him in that situation the way that defense is. Baker's going to look worse than he did last week.
My thing is, I don't know if defensively for Cleveland, man, that's my only thing. I'm gonna go. They're playing at home. I'm gonna go with the Browns. Reason being is, I believe that they're gonna focus more on the run, keep Murray on the sidelines.
And that's the thing. Nick Chubb, they need to give him the ball for multiple reasons. The key of which is that he's really freaking good and he can drain that clock. I still am hesitant to pick Kyler Murray in a big game. Until I see him do it consistently, I'm hesitant. I'm going with the Browns. I know it's weird. Big game Browns don't really normally go together, but it's in Cleveland. It's just I see the Browns pulling it out at the end, and I see Arizona getting their first loss of the season.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to see how Arizona's going to stop that two-headed running back monster with Hunt and Chubb, man.
Yeah. I mean, they can stop it by letting Baker Mayfield do Mayfield things and screwing things up, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
So the last game we have is Buffalo and Tennessee. Buffalo is a 5.5-point favorite. BJ?
Oh, I don't see anybody stopping Buffalo right now. Derrick Henry's not playing defense, is he?
Not that I know of.
Well, that's how that's going to go.
Yeah.
Buffalo.
I'm going Buffalo too.
Yeah, I went with Buffalo to your point. I don't see the offense for Tennessee keeping up with Buffalo. I mean, that offense is really, really good. And I'm gonna say it again. I was wrong about Josh Allen. I did not like him coming out of college. I was wrong, and I am sorry.
He's like a step away from being the best quarterback in
Yeah.
Yeah.
the league.
I mean, I think right now they were saying like when it comes to the MVP votes, it's down to him and Dak right now.
Well, I thought it was funny during the game on Sunday. You had Collinsworth going, "Well, Allen needs to take the next step. He's just not as good as Mahomes. He's just a step away. Blah blah blah." And then the very next play, he throws a touchdown pass. Like, okay, well maybe he is just as good.
You know, Brady's leading the league in passing. I don't know why he's not in the MVP conversation.
No, they had
either.
him third. They had him third.
Oh, yeah, he's in there. He definitely should be.
They had him third.
So I just, yeah, Buffalo's gonna just carry that division for a while.
Yeah.
Because I don't see the Jets or the Dolphins having any chance for the next 5 or 10 years of winning the division.
I noticed how you didn't talk shit about the Patriots though. There's 4 teams in that division. You mysteriously left one out.
Yeah, well, no, I know. I said that the Jets and the Dolphins in 5 or 10 years. The Patriots, as long as they've got Belichick,
Dangerous.
can be dangerous.
Very dangerous.
So there's a reason. Now they need a better quarterback, but that's neither here nor there. But as long as they've got Belichick,
If
can
they'd
be
only
sneaky.
had one available last year, they could have
Probably.
retained his services.
Right.
He's washed up though.
Patriots-
Burnout.
Well, according to Dorian, Cam is like the second coming of the next great
Oh,
quarterback. So
I was talking about
No.
Brady. They could have had Brady last year. They chose not to. Brady
Right.
went to the Super Bowl.
Right. All I said about Cam was that depending on the offense, he could be serviceable to help win games.
and yes, you had a good
If he goes
point.
back
that-
to Auburn,
you have to take a pay cut, but not much though.
not much. It would not be much. Probably just pay him in laptops.
Oh man, that's cool.
No, that's if he went to Gainesville.
No, he stole him there. They figured out he liked him when he went to Auburn. That's like,
Oh, okay.
we'll pay you in Dell laptops. They overheat. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, my favorite part of the whole Cam thing when he was in college, it was, well, Mississippi State offered him $20,000, but he turned that down and went to Auburn for free. Bullshit.
Bullshit. Guy steal. So you're telling me a guy that has it in his DNA to steal laptops will turn down a few $1,000, 20,000? You said
20,000.
that's going to be handed to him?
Yep.
No way, Jose. He got more money to go to Auburn. That's what happened. Auburn said Mississippi State 20 grand, 40 a year, buddy. Let's double it. We'll do 50 just to make you feel real good about it.
They rounded up.
How much money did he make?
If I'm not mistaken, didn't they say was it 300,000? Mysteriously,
No,
That
how
was
much
that
money?
bad?
How much money did he make for Auburn?
Oh,
Anything they
God.
gave him was a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why they did it. That's
an
why
investment.
USC did
It's
it.
a-
That's why
it's an
Alabama still
investment.
does it.
It's an investment. I can pass out $400,000 between all these players. Everybody's
Okay.
going to be happy, and we're going to the title.
Yep. Because you figure a trip to the playoff outside of a normal bowl, a trip to the playoff is an extra $20 to $30 million for the school
You know why they caved on the NIL, right?
because they had to.
I think step 2 is going to be ticket sales.
Yeah.
And step 2 is a huge step.
I still think that it should just be TV money.
Oh, you see, you're trying to get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big pie that doesn't get cut up for the peasants.
No.
Yeah, you shan't get your sliver.
Like here, you can take some of the ticket sales, but you ain't touching this TV.
Yeah,
bro.
touch this TV
Yeah,
when you kiss my
gotta cut you for
40
that
to
one.
70 billion dollar ass.
Exactly.
Oh,
Oh, that's crazy,
wasn't that
man.
the ESPN contract we looked up?
Something like that. Yeah.
72 billion for
Yeah.
10 years or something?
Something like that.
7 billion a year?
Yep.
7 billion a year.
That's like
You could
stupid
buy-
money.
You could
That's
buy countries with that. There are countries you could be like, I want this country. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
this country.
Couldn't you feed like half the world with that money?
Don't start. Don't start.
No,
We're talking about sports tonight.
that's Dorian.
Don't
That's the
start.
next segment. It's okay.
No, start talking about sports. Trying to enjoy my podcast tonight. Not trying to get all amped up on your fucking political bullshit that we always get amped up on.